So what a huge pleasure for me today. I have with me Reinhard Winiwarter, Managing Director across Magazine, and we'll talk about the wine a little bit later. Reinhard, lovely to see you.
Lovely to see you, Jonathan.
So let's start with let's call it the birth of Across.
The birth.
Yeah.
Okay.
When did it all start?
It started in 2008, and I think this year was really special because it was you remember it was the year of one of the biggest financial crises, and I had the crazy idea to say, okay, now it's the right time to found and to establish a publication which is dedicated to real estate, to retail real estate. So, okay.
So that was a big step, and well, I'm interested now in Wine Forward. We're 2008 to 2026, where we are now.
Yeah.
What for you? What does Across stand for today?
Yeah, today, for me, Across stands for a really relevant European media platform for retail real estate, for placemaking, for retail. And for me, Across also stands for a platform which is used by the relevant companies, by the relevant people, showcasing their projects, showcasing or mentioning their opinions. And for me, Across stands for a publication who brings the industry together.
Yeah.
This is Across for me. After a long time of developing and developments, but I think now we are a nice platform for bringing the industry together.
Amazing. And we're in a quite incredible building today. Do you want to tell us a little bit about the history and of where we actually are?
We are here in the heart of Vienna, in one of the oldest parts of Vienna, in the first district, and we are in a wine member club. So we are in the cellar. We are at -2. And this is a very exclusive member club for wine enthusiasts. And this club was founded in 2016. And the idea was, let's say, to bring a wine community to the inner city of Vienna, to collect wines, to drink wines, to have tastings here, and to discuss about wine. And it also goes back to my second life, because I'm also a winemaker. And this is one of my, let's say, my projects I'm involved in, and I love this place very much.
And that word place is actually really quite important. I mean, it's in the subtitle of the magazine.
Yeah.
It's something that we talk about pretty much every day. This is a very old place, and it's now been made into something quite remarkable.
Yeah, I think this place here, this club, is a very nice example what placemaking is, or what placemaking could be. Placemaking is to make a place which is so attractive and so interesting to, let's say, to attract people and to bring people to quite unusual places. And now we have a full member club with more than 180 members using this place, going down to level -2, and are really enthusiastic people regarding wine. So this is placemaking, in my opinion.
And that in itself is almost an art form, taking a place and turning it into somewhere where people really want to be.
Yep.
I have to say as well, with the magazine, one of the things that I'm curious to know is, what do you think people underestimate? Because it's very easy to look at it and go, oh, that's a very nice magazine, that's so many pages, lots of pictures, da da da. What are they underestimating when you have to craft this and all the other content?
Yeah, I think a lot of people underestimate the industry we are talking about. We are a European magazine, and if you talk about Europe is not a single country. Maybe Donald Trump thinks that Europe is a single country, but it isn't. Europe is a very complex area, which is very different market stages. Jonathan, you know it better than me. And a lot of people underestimate how difficult it could be, let's say, to bring the people on a certain level and to collect the information to make it understandable for all people reading and using across. This is a lot of work. It makes a big difference if you talk to people coming from the UK, talking about placemaking, talking about retail real estate. Or you talk to people coming from Albania, which is a completely different market stage, a completely different developing situation. And let's say to bring this all on a platform which makes all this information understandable for the European community is not so easy. And a lot of people do not have an idea how complicated it is to, let's say, to bring all this information on a certain level. So.
I think on top of that, and this is a personal observation, I guess, of mine, is that you also work really hard to create this community around the magazine. The advisory board, the meetings, the leadership that your own teams bring to this. It's much, much more than just a digital and physical output.
But I think one advantage is, and I think this is also one of the success factors of Across, is that the community we are talking to, the retail real estate community, is not so big in Europe. So we are talking about, let's say, all in all, 100 to 150,000 people, the real decision makers. And all these 100,000 people approximately are connected, are networking guys. So it for sure, it takes time, but it is possible to, let's say, to connect them. And with the advisory board is one instrument to connect people. And if you are able, let's say, to connect these people, you have a very direct, let's say, contact and communication to the industry. And I think this is one of the success factors of Across. And it's easier to do this with a smaller community. Yes. Instead of a big one.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. And I think the other thing as well, as an observation, is that you never stand still. You are always.
Yeah, but the industry pushing. Also never stands still.
No, absolutely. I know that's a positive. It's not a criticism. It's a huge compliment. You never stand still. So, what are you doing at the moment that you're particularly proud of? The direction you're taking. What are some of the new initiatives that you're doing?
I'm really proud of maybe 2 or 3 things. First of all, I'm really proud of the situation that we were successful in turning Across magazine from a pure print magazine into a multi-channel platform. I think this was one of the biggest steps, and it was absolutely necessary, because if we weren't successful in that way, I think the pandemic would have killed us. So this was one thing I'm very proud of. The second is that I think we were successful in keeping on track, making, let's say, always showcasing the developments of the industry, the changes of the industry, the challenges of the industry. So we followed the industries with all their, let's say, different aspects. That's the second thing. And the third thing, you're the first one I'm talking to this point, but I found out in the last, especially in the last 2 years, that there is a big need of education in the industry. And what I would like to establish from now, and 2026 will be the beginning of this new project, I would like to establish the Across Academy. The Across Academy as a platform for education. Education in form of workshops, education in form of study tours, education in form of seminars, webinars. So to do more to do more for education. This is one of my next projects. Okay, hopefully I can be proud of this Across Academy in 2 years, but I'm really enthusiastic to move this project forward.
And you started off by saying, because there's a need for education. Why do you think that is?
Yeah, because I think the need of education comes from the fact that the whole industry, retail real estate, has become so complex. If you go back years, if you go back 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. I think the industry was quite easy. You always talk about there is a building, there are tenants, I have to rent. That was the business. And now we talk about PropTech, we talk about sustainability, we talk about mixed use, we talk about entertainment, gastronomy, we talk about whatever. And all this together makes the industry really, first of all, really complex, really challenging, but also very, very interesting. And I think the need for education comes from the point that a good manager, a good developer has to know the challenges, the wideness of the industry. And so education becomes more and more important to learn more about all aspects which are needed to run a retail real estate property really successful.
So it's a wonderful idea. Who's going to be doing the teaching?
We are a platform. We invite relevant people, personalities, to bring in their experience. We help them to promote workshops. We help them, let's say, to find people coming to the workshops. We organize, let's say, the environment, but we invite European specialists, European top guys to use the platform for their workshops and for their seminars and to present their know-how. So we are not the teacher, we are the organizer.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's very smart. And I think, as you say, we are the platform, and it's something that you've focused really strongly on. I mean, we all remember the pandemic. That was not a great time for anybody.
No.
But so many great things came out of it. We tended to focus on the negatives at the time.
Yeah.
But so many great things came out of it, and I think it's made us stronger. So looking forward for the platform that is across, what do you see as the next opportunities after that? What do you see as the future of direction? I mean, we have a limited number of people, as you say. The depth when it comes to education is really important. But also, I think, is it the scope of what we're covering? As you say, because in the old days it was retail, now it's a lot more than that.
I think what Across should always be a flexible platform. I think I do not know what the industry needs tomorrow and the next time. You don't know it. So no. I think one really important aspect is to be flexible and to follow the industry and to recognize the needs.
Yeah.
And so this is one aspect. And the second one, and I'm quite sure about it, our industry will always be people business. So to connect people, to bring people together, to give people, the relevant people, the decision makers, a platform for exchange, their know-how. This will be important also in the future. And this is one of the biggest assets I would like, let's say, to offer with the Across magazine to the industry also in the future.
Amazing. So here's a really interesting point. You spend your life interviewing other people.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I do it very often, that's right.
And it struck me, it dawned on me that there are very few occasions when you get to have an opportunity to interview the managing director of something like this. And that really is, I think it's quite important because A, it helps people understand what goes into it, but also what they can take out of it as well, what they can benefit from. I'm guessing that the numbers, the circulation, the online presence, and all those things are changing every year according to where you are doing your business and how you're doing your business. How is Germany, how is Austria as a part of the overall community that you're part of? It used to be very, very strong, especially Germany. Are you finding there are changes there?
Yeah, Germany is strong because it comes from our background. So we are Austrian. Our big neighbor, our big brother is Germany. We have a lot of let's say connections to Germany. Germany is 10 times bigger than Austria. So that's clear that Germany is a very, very important market. But we started with a close connection in 2008 to the German industry, but step by step we developed across to a pan-European publication. With a clear, it was for us, because we are Austrian, it was easier, let's say, to convince the Eastern European part first, and then we went west. So, and now we are European. So I think it's everyone in Europe, the top decision makers know across, use across, and know what we are doing. But for sure, Germany is important, definitely.
Yeah. And I think, it ebbs and flows. It's up and down according to the economic and social issues. And I think that for me is another really important point, is that how the world is actually changing around us daily now, and the impact of that. And seeing, some of the newer economies like Poland absolutely marching ahead. Iberia strong.
If you ask
again.
me, Jonathan, this is also a very important, let's say, topic, or maybe also a very important factor what across can offer. We can showcase and show the spirit of the industry. Go back 15 years. The spirit of the industry comes from Germany. So everyone looks to Germany. They know the business. They'll go forward. Nowadays, the people look to Poland, the people look to Romania, the people look to Eastern Europe. There is a different spirit. Across shows this, and across and I think it is also very important for economies like Germany at the moment. They are complaining about, they are not really, let's say, going forward. Maybe they are not so motivated. But across shows that there are regions in Europe, people in Europe, going forward, showing more enthusiasm, showing more, let's say, activity going forward. This is also, I think, a very important thing across offers to the industry.
And I think multifaceted, you're absolutely right. One of the things you talked about earlier was the study tours as well. You recently had a very successful study tour with two dear friends of mine.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to become a bigger part of what you do?
Yes, it fits to my new project, to the Cross Academy. And the study tours, we organize it, I think it's the third year we are doing. We are doing now the study tours, and I found out that people love it. The people love it, let's say, to see different markets, to see different cities, to get in contact with different people, because our study tours are not only looking and seeing things. We always have management contact. We always have conversations with the managers. The people learn a lot, and they like it. They like it, and it is education, and to see best practice examples from other countries, from other cities. I think it's very important for the industry.
And to get under the skin, as you say, because your guides, your partners who do these with you are well connected and get you in front of management.
It's more than going through a mall and taking photos. It's an exchange. With the managers, with the operators, with the retailers. Yeah. So it's connecting people in a different way. Yeah.
Amazing. So the future is looking good. How would you sum up the future for us?
The future is looking good, because I think the future also for the retail real estate industry is looking good. It has some challenges, definitely, and only the good will survive. This is also, I'm convinced about that. You have to be good to be successful. We would like to follow, let's say, the relevant trends. We would like to be the platform where successful best case things will be showcased, and good people can exchange their thoughts, their strategies, whatever. And but we have to be flexible, because we have to follow the industry. We have to follow the needs of the industry, and we have to watch very carefully in which direction the industry is moving forward.
Absolutely.
And we have to follow them. So,
and I think that probably, ladies and gentlemen, is something that we should drink to. So thank you very much, Reinhard.
Cheers.
A huge pleasure. Cheers.
Prost, as we say in Austria.
Cheers, as we say in England.
Cheers.
Cheers.